Okay, part three. This is getting pretty good actually. I'm quite enjoying talking about the shit I went through. Just a cup of tea. So we're at the end of the second stage. So remember that's just your second 2 weeker. So you're still back in on a day 9, and then you're back in on a day 15. So you'll be back in on day 15. And then it'll start again for the third session. Okay, so your two little sessions where you come in, they're just horrible. You come in for a couple of days. By this stage, you're walking you just about managing to walk a few steps. You can't breathe. The chemo scars your lungs. I've still got scarring now. Um, it's getting quite nasty. You're beginning to doubt if you can do a third session, but you know you have to. So you finish day 15 and then you got a bit of a respite. You're not eating, you're still drinking, everything tastes of shit, everything hurts. You're questioning whether you want to go on with the third session. The problem with it is it's good, it works. And the reason it works is because it's such a high dose. That was my consultant saying that. So the third session comes up. You go in on the Sunday. By this stage, you're in a wheelchair. You're pushed in by your parents. I was. I thought I'd struggle in. I don't know, 20 yards into the hospital. I had to sit there, and then they had to go and put a pound in and get a trolley and come put you on a trolley and wheel you through the hospital. It was fucking huge. So, yeah, that's an interesting emotion, being pushed in by parents because you can't fucking walk. Um, but you got to do it. So you're beginning to question if you can do it, which you can't do. I would film myself full of positive videos, and stuff. I can't. I think it was at the third session. Um, I watched Douglas Bader, Reach for the Skies, and it was the bit when he was in the hospital and the nurses were outside, um, arguing and making noises and being tarts, and one of the sisters said, "Oh, shush! There's a man in there. He's going to die or something." And he sort of said, "Well, I can't fucking die. I'm too busy," which is how I looked at it. Oh, 34 years old. 34 years old. I haven't done nothing by the time I'm 34. So, I couldn't die, and that's all you can think about. Don't die. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die. Too busy. And the other thing is that why you survive cancer? Because like going back to the percentages from the first video, you don't know at this stage if you're in the 5% who die or the 95% that survive. Because you don't. And you still don't. Even now, 11 years, we don't get. This is normal, I think. This is a normal feeling for someone who's had cancer. We don't get a headache. We don't get headaches. We get brain tumours. Even now. Lower back pain. I went in a year and a half ago. I had lower back pain, didn't I? Well, I had cancer, didn't I? That's what I thought. Lower back pain, cancer. No, just lower back pain. Went and had an X-ray. Everything was good. Just overdone it. Got backache. 34 years old. I've broken racehorses in. I've ridden dumper trucks. Yeah, the back was aching. But you don't get backache. Your knee aches. Got cancer in the knee. That's what cancer people live with. So, would that be a form of PTSD? Oh, I don't fucking know. But that's what cancer people think when you excuse me, when you have an ailment. You don't have an ailment. It's cancer. So it couldn't be because you're out in the sun all fucking day and you didn't hydrate yourself enough. That could have something to do why you feel like shit and you got a headache. No, it's a tumor. It's a tumor. Got a brain tumor. That's how we live. And I don't know. Am I going to get over that? I don't think so. Um, and it's the fear. And I did have a sore bollock a little while ago. That was very scary. But I think I rolled that climbing over a railing. Um, so yeah, you don't get over it. But the third session. So by the time you're coming in for that third session, you're in a wheelchair. It's probably 7 stone. It's probably down to about 7 stone. Um, everything hurt. Everything. toenails, fingernails, you fall over because, and I've never found this out. I've never figured out whether it was because my feet were losing sensation, so of course you fall over, or whether it's because your inner ear, you start getting tinnitus and things go funny with your inner ears. So do you fall over because of that? And you just fall over, and you just fall over. You just fall over. I know I've never sussed out. Obviously, that wears off and you become a normal human being again. But for a couple of years, that was just what you did. And he did say, "Give me 5 years, and I'll give you your life." And he wasn't far off, 5 years is when you start feeling normal. You don't wake up with a splitting headache. You don't suddenly, you can't breathe. I went for a lung function test about 7 months afterwards, and I was like lungs of a 5-year-old. Couldn't hold my breath for 5 seconds. Now I'm doing a minute underwater. Don't worry me. But back then, yeah, it was farcical. So you're going into this third and final session, fucked. You're fucked. Can't breathe. Everything hurts. You can't eat. You're still having to drink. At that stage, I was ramming. I would ram my fingers up under my rib cage, because it hurt. Whenever I drank anything, it would hurt, and I'd swig Gaviscon. So yeah, it really hurt. And I was ready to jump out of the car one day on the way home because it hurt so bad, and they couldn't give me my Gaviscon quick enough, so I was going to jump out of the car. That's how much pain I was in. And there was always the fear with my taste. I spoke earlier in the other videos about my taste. Would my mouth? I love food. Would it come back? Would my mouth come back? Lucky it has completely. But that was a worry because I love food. So I was like, shit, I hope my taste buds come back. You've also got, you're not getting an erection by this stage. That's gone. That's completely gone. You have, mentally, you are wasted. You're depressed. You're scared. You're not knowing if you're going to go on. Your friends are pretty scared. Your friends are pretty upset. Your family's upset. And to see them is quite strange. We are having it. It's our cancer, mine. They're watching you go through this, and to watch any of your friends suffer anything, they bang their finger or something, it's awful to think they're in pain. So to see me down like that and having to go through this is quite strange in itself. So it's all right for us to have it. It's our cancer, but their cancer is having to watch you go through it, and it must be weird for the hospital because I went in super fit. They cut my nut off, and then I was back healthy again, and surfing and being normal. And then they said it's coming to my lungs, and I'm like, I went into the hospital super fit, and people would come and listen to my lungs. Little minions he'd send down, students would come down and listen to my lungs. Oh, can we listen to your lungs, please? Yeah, here you go. And they'd go, oh, you have very good lungs. Oh, your lungs are amazing. Yeah, tell me about it. So whether or not he'd say, go and listen to this person, he's got these tumours in his lungs, go and listen to his lungs, how clear they are. And that Iraqi Kurd, he said that. He said, you have very healthy lungs. Your lungs are lovely. Why are you here? Tell me. Because I questioned whether it was my CT scan. You made a mistake, have you? Not my scan? You got it mixed up? No, definitely your scan. Fucking great. So that was quite interesting. So the third week, you're really disorientated. You don't know if you're coming or going. You don't know if I just pulled a load of skank out the bottom of my cup. Yeah, you don't know if you're coming or going. Obviously you're coming. You're doing little steps. The little steps, right? I've just got to get into the hospital. That's a step. You've just got to get onto your bed. That's a step. You've just got to get the cannula put in, which is a mission. I mean, I think I waited till about 3 o'clock in the morning one time because they couldn't get a cannula in. So I went in, can you put the cannula in? Nurses are there sticking it, can't do it. At which point you're there taking the piss. How long you been a nurse? 7 years, is that right, Ange? And they end up using the doctor. Or the best one is they stick it in pull it out and then go, oh, I think it was in then. So then they end up getting a doctor come down and you go, there you go, right, see it, bye. So 2 o'clock in the morning they're doing that, and then they stick the saline in for a couple of hours. Well, for the rest of the time, 2 litres of saline before you even start your chemo. So they're doing that, and the sensation of the chemo going in at this stage hurts. You know, you literally feel the stuff going into all of your body, and you turn green. That's a description. It literally turns you green. You've got no beard. You're 7 stone. You're not eating. Your gums are all bleeding. Tongue's sore. You got tinnitus, which was like a, and when it finished, you go like that. You get that, but it was fucking annoying and loud. And I still get that now, 11 years later, about once a month. You just suddenly go, oh, and it'll go like that. That's all you get, and that's about once a month I get that. And you're like, oh, but that reminds you, oh fuck yeah, you know where that's from. So it never goes. So where was I? 3rd session, 7 stone, everything's going bad. You have no temper. You have no what you call it? No short temper. Fucking hell. Anyone does something wrong, that's it. Fucking, they're gonna get it. If you've got the energy, I did comment to the nurses on the cancer ward. They like working with us because we were too fucked to assault them. No matter what they did to us, we couldn't fucking do it. We couldn't. I had to sign myself up to go toilet. Bearing in mind I'm going toilet like every fucking 10 minutes. Just to get out the bed and get to the toilet, you physically have to make it a mental fight. I am going to get up. I'm going to get up. When that clock hits 10 more seconds, I'm going to fucking get up and go toilet. Every single time, just take a piss. Couldn't lift the toilet seat up. By this stage, you can't lift the toilet seat up. You know, you go for a piss, you lift it up. Couldn't lift the toilet seat, it's too heavy. You just fucking piss all over it. Just wipe it. You're just fucking too heavy. Heavy. And I mean like weightlifter, like couldn't do it, it's too heavy. So you can't fucking, you got no muscle, you got no fucking hardly any hair, your bum hair's falling out. And you're questioning your will to do this, and would it be easier just to fucking not do it? And even the nurses on my last day as an outpatient, so I then did my week, so then I'm in a wheelchair. I then come back, now this is quite funny, I then came back for my day 9, so I've done my last week, and that's all you can think about is you're counting, right, fuck, I've only got 7 more hits of chemo, 7 more hits of chemo, and each day's going past and you're going 6 more fucking days of chemo, 5 more days of chemo, right the way down to the last ones, and all the time you're going in there and there's people in there dying, they don't make it, and you're sat there like, fuck, 95% cure rate, am I the 5%? So you're going through the last and final days of this chemo, and the day 7, so I'd been in for my 5 days, come back out, and then I'm back in for my day 7, and I collapsed. Fuck. I've never passed out, I've never lost consciousness, never even when I've been drunk passed out, because I had a brain, I didn't drink that much. I passed out. So they put my cannula in, and I remember it to this day, and I'm feeling hot, fuck, like an embarrassment in a sauna, flush, fuck. And I remember, and she's putting my cannula in, she's like, by this time I'm waiting to go in the waiting room, and I'm lying down on 3 benches. I'm that fucked. I'm lying down on 3 benches, so I can barely walk. I'm having to be wheelchaired from the waiting room into the chemo room for my little 5-hour hit or whatever it was. And they're up here. I've got lumps protruding on my top of my hand. I've got big bulges where the veins have hematomed or done something or just fucked. my digestive system was giving up. I was fucked, absolutely fucked. And I remember saying to her, I feel quite, I feel a bit warm, you know, a bit hot. And they're like, you're all right. And then I'm gone. The eyes apparently roll into the back of my head. And then I'm on one of these vinyl chairs, so I'm sitting like that, and I just slid out, and that's it. Lights went out. Next thing, I woke up. There's I thought I was having a heart attack. This nurse is pushing on my chest to hold me in the seat. I've got a mask on. I've got things on my finger that go ping, ping, and I'm fucking passed out. And they're like that. Hello, hello, you back with us? Yeah. No, where'd you go? I was like, oh fuck, I don't know. And they then wheeled me off in a little room, gave me my chemo still. Oh, which come back because the nurses got my results on my blood, and they're like, "Yeah, this ain't good. You got fuck all. You got no red blood cells, no white blood cells. Your fucking platelets are fucked. You don't exist. You're dying." And they sent it back to the consultant and said, "No, he's too fucking. We think he's too ill." And they've just got a letter back from him and a smiley face saying, "Do as you're bloody told. I know best," and a smiley face. So, because you can be too ill to have chemo, which I thought was ironic. So I had my chemo, pushed me away into this little room, put oxygen on, and I sat there, and my consultant walks around, sticks his head in the door, goes, "Get that bloody oxygen off, anyone would think you're fucking ill," and walked off. At which point you're like, "What the fuck? I am ill, got cancer." So they took my oxygen off and then put me in a wheelchair and pushed me back outside and scared of the thing and got me home, and then it was one more. And I did that one more, and I'm in a wheelchair. I'm being pushed in. I'm lying on the waiting room seats, and you know, it's a bit like being really pissed. You know, you couldn't give a fuck who sees you. You don't give a shit. If they say, "Oh, well, you're putting your feet on the table, on the seats," fuck off. I don't care. I'm fucked. Um, which is kind of scary in itself because I'm always the one who helps people. People always go, "Oh, Rob, can you give us a hand?" Yeah. And you help people in the street, you pick people off the road when they've had an accident. And I never ask for help. And this is the important thing it taught me, is to ask for help, you know. It's not bad to ask for help. You always, oh, just do it myself, fucking battle on, do it myself. No, 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 you're fucked, mate. You've got to ask for help. You have to have help. And that's a real humbling thing, to be so fucked you got to ask for help. As a big, strong, sort of gruffy guy, you fucking have to ask for help. It's quite humbling. It's only tea. Um, so that's probably the most important thing it taught me about having cancer, because it does teach you an awful lot about who you are, and what you can do and what you can't do. You don't get fucking scared of anything. Maybe only cancer again. Um, so where were we? Yeah, so I had my last hit, and then you're off home, and then you're on a watch list. They are watching you. Bloods, CT scans, X-rays, everything. I think once a week after they're having my blood again, I'll go into Newquay and take my blood, and they'd send me blood away, and then they'd be like, "Oh, your blood's right," and then you go back in after a week. How are you feeling? Fuck off. Um, and I'm asking them, because some people go on a bit of a fitness thing, turn vegan once they've had cancer, and I'm like, what should I eat? What whatever you fucking want. I would do. My brother works at Booker's wholesalers food, custard creams. A tube, a whole packet of custard creams. I had a pint glass of tea, custard creams, a thing of Weetabix, 12 in a thing, one a day. Um, Tropicana juice, you know, the litre ones, one a day. I was on them once I finished. Because you gradually start to want, well, you obviously want food because the chemo's coming out of you and your brain's going, "You're fucking 7 stone, Rob, you need to fucking eat." And you just eat and eat, and your taste suddenly starts to come back. I remember just getting a taste of a custard cream again, and it was like, oh, and it started to get better and better and better and better. And the food, you're like, oh, food, and I always ate shit, not takeaways. Not takeaways. Didn't eat much takeaway. No, not much processed stuff. I prepare a lot of food myself. I'm a good cook. Um, much as I'm told, oh, if I put weight on, that's your fault. Has anyone else got a missus that does that? They put weight on, and that's your fault for being a good cook. Um, and I always ate the fat. I always ate the crusty bit of the bacon. I always ate donuts, cakes, buns, ice cream with clotted cream on. I fucking love it, right? And then I got cancer, and I'm like, well, fuck it. And then somebody, oh, go all hippie and be a vegan, and fuck it. I just ate whatever I wanted. Worse, which the story I was going to tell you about my medical. When I was 40 years old, I went for a medical, bloods, a total MOT, as it were. So I went for this medical, um, and I was the fittest this nurse had ever seen the results of. Because she said, "What's your diet like?" Shit. Sorry, shit. Oh, what do you mean? I said, I eat shit. My diet's shit. Oh, well, lots of fast food. No, no fast food. Maybe once a year we might have Chinese. Twice a year have Chinese. But it's all prepared food I cook. But it's good food. It's cheese. It's sauces. It's a lot of ketchup, mayonnaise on stuff. Lots of melted cheese on stuff. The pork has all the fat on it. I'll eat that. Oh, I can't eat pork chops because I ain't got any teeth. But if I'm at a barbecue, I'll have the crackling when it's soggy, all the fat off the meat, the chicken. I'll eat all the fat. Butter. The joke is, oh Rob, you're gonna have some butter with your toast. No, is it toast with your butter? That's it, toast with your butter, because I just put so much on. And I never went all hippified, but I always ate really well. So she was laughing at that, and I was the fittest she'd ever seen on this sort of scale thing. So I was like, and my partner's like, oh, wait till you get your cholesterol test, you're fucking high. Little bit high, but not bad. But that was, they did like three, I think it was, different types of fat to eat, and the one for the meat on the fat on the meat, excuse me, then I'll tell you about that in a minute. Um, yeah, I eat all that. That belch a lot more. And I also do a like a if it was a horse, it'd be wind sucking. So a horse will wind suck. It'll grab hold of something and go like that. And wind suck, it's a ailment from boredom. It's really bad actually. And it's like a and then a burp. I do that since I've had chemo, which is really weird. I don't like. I wear slippers. Don't even think my slippers are in here because you could have a laugh if I showed you them. Um, girly fluffy slippers I wear. The big ones, the ones that come up sort of here, nice fluffy ones. You know, have to wear them. Even this weather, sunshine. Only when it's like 30 degrees, you'll see me not in my slippers when I get home because my feet get cold. They get cold, just like if I took your slippers off, took your shoes out on a cold day and just let your feet, you'd be like, oh, it's cold, I'll put my socks on. That's what I'm like in summer. Again, my hands. Don't like touching cold things. First thing in the morning, my hands will be stiff. If I've abused them by getting them wet and working on engines and cars, or surfing for hours on end, the next morning they'll take a while to stiffen up. But gripping, driving, everything's all fine. Don't notice it. Handwriting, fuck. My handwriting was shit anyway. It's shit now. Oh, fucking useless. I could do about a paragraph like that, maybe 300 words, and after that, holding something like that for that amount of time, it's like cramp. It just and it gets really quite erratic. But how often do we fucking write stuff? We don't. I can fill an application form in, but if you say to write a statement out, I'm not going to do it, am I? I just type everything. That's easy. Um, Side effects. So I do that like a burp, which I can't. And there's no warning. You know, like when you burp, you go, "Oh, I'm going to burp." You could let out. Oh no, it's go. And I can't fucking help it. It just does it. The farting's gone. That's just normal. Um, Side effects. My lungs apparently are scarred, but I can do a beep test. I can do a 10-meter beep test up to like level 5, 6. So I'm pretty fit that way. Got no teeth. You might bite your cheek a bit more. For some reason, I bite my cheek a few times, which is annoying, and your tongue. I don't know if that's just getting old or chemo. If you have an orchidectomy, so your nut cut off, hell of a funny. Every time you go for a piss, I'll try and show you as best I can. So you go for a wee, undo your thing, get your thing out, get your willy out, hold him with 4 fingers, piss on 3, right? But this thumb will pull your pants down and hold onto your pants. But the top of your thumb would rest where lefty would be. And for months, when you go and have a piss, you pull your pants down, and lefty should touch, just a touch, on your thumb. Doesn't touch it, does it? Because it's gone. And every fucking time you're like, where's my bollock? But of course it's not. I think I'll do a video on the operation because that's quite funny. So you've done your 3 sessions. You've completed all of your fucking chemo. You're fucked. You're 7 stone. Everything hurts. And then you've got 5 years, which seems a long time, but it isn't a long time. 5 years to get over it before you feel normal. That's me, and I mean completely normal. You know, you're not waking up with a thumping fucking headache. You're not petrified of having your cancer come back. Although you do kind of get scared with headaches, like I said in the last one. You're dealing with it. You know, you're fighting your way through it. You're getting healthier, and you can see yourself getting healthier. It's not like when you start the chemo healthy and you get lower and lower and lower and lower. You're starting to get better. You know, you're walking further. You're doing stuff. I used to have horrific chest pains, awful chest pains. After I had chemo, obviously I couldn't work, so I became a parish councillor. Because I thought, fuck it, I can't work, I can't do shit. I'm being paid by the fucking government and taxpayers, my money as well, remember? I've worked since I was 9 years old, and that was a big fright for cancer. That was worse than having the cancer, was how you get treated by the welfare system in this country, which I'm glad it's there. But when you've got your doctor who's known you since you're a kid, your consultant who's known you, who knows cancer, and they're saying to the DWP, Department of Work and Pensions, fucking leave him alone for 5 years. He's not going to go back to work. He's fucked. And then you go and go this other test with this Apollo, is it Apollo? Atos Care, who give you a 20-minute, if that, examination. They see you for 20 minutes. They get you, oh, hold this piece of paper. Hold this, can you put your arm above your head? Can you touch your toes? Oh, great, you can go back to fucking work. And then they stop your housing benefit and all your benefits. Now, this company has a vested interest in sending you back to work because they receive a bonus from the government. What a waste of finances. You have a consultant who is fucking qualified to the hilt. He knows what you're going through and what you can do. You have your GP, who are the best in this country. He knows you personally, you know. He's known you since you were younger, okay, when you were at school. And then you're 34 and he's telling the DWP what sort of state you're in. Your MP, because I went to my MP, going fucking nuts at them. Macmillan, who are a charity in the UK, who shouldn't even exist as far as I'm concerned, going fucking nuts at DWP, and yet you still have this guy who sees you for 20 minutes and says you can go back to work. It's not wrong, but it happens, and it was the most demoralising and scary thing. When you're surviving cancer and you're sleeping in a conservatory because you've got nowhere to sleep because you've been thrown out by the landlord who's an arsehole. Unbelievable. That was the hardest. That was harder than cancer, you know, to think you've paid into this system since you were, well, obviously only paid in since you were 16 years old, and then to be 34 and suddenly go, fuck, I'm going to have to claim dole money. How does that go about? And then you don't get it. You can't get it, and they take it off you. That's the stressful. And you're meant to be having a nice stress-free. Stress is not good. You have to get away from anything that stresses you. Yeah, that was the hardest bit, the DWP. But as for getting healthy, eat what you want. Don't overdo it, which is really difficult because that's what I got after this lung function test, where I had really bad lungs, I couldn't breathe. They said a bad thing to me, and it's something that you don't hear with cancer people. You never hear a doctor say to a cancer person, I think you should go back to work now. You never hear that. All you will hear is, don't overdo it. Don't go back to work too soon. take your time off. But cancer people will always overdo it, okay? Because you're so happy to be able to do anything, you overdo it, and then you suffer. Um, I went and became parish council, and I'd sit there in council meetings like this, and I'd just sit there holding, because this was the only position, even holding like this now makes me a weird feeling. It was the only position that would relieve the pain in my chest from my scarred lungs. And I'd cough blood up if I overdid it. And on this lung function test, I was like, I'm coughing blood up. If I overdo it, I'm coughing blood up because it's scarred. And she said the worst thing you'd say to a cancer patient, because I said, am I going to damage my lungs by overdoing it? Oh no, no, you ain't going to damage yourself. You ain't going to make it any worse. You're not going to make it any worse if you overdo it. Fucking hell, I was trying to pick engines up and all sorts of shit. Oh, that would hurt. Oh, and the girlfriend I was with at the time, I'd start doing this. She'd go, what are you doing? Nothing. Is your chest hurting? No. No, it's not hurting. It fucking is. You've overdone it, haven't you? What were you doing today? And then you make Nigel come and go, oh no, I'm picking Land Rover bits up. And that was another thing. I felt guilty because I was claiming a benefit. And I'm forcing my fucking self to do stuff. So I might go out and try and work on a car. And you know in the back of your head someone could ring up. The fact you worked on the car for 2 hours and then the next day you're in bed till 11 o'clock or sat on the settee because you can't fucking move and you're coughing blood up. But people won't see that. They'll be like, oh, he's working on a car for 2 hours. The fact you spent the next fucking day in bed because you've overdone it coughing blood up, they don't comprehend that. And I've always... But I never took a disability card. I never had the little blue thing so you could park anywhere because I felt that would stop me fucking walking and doing stuff. And I made myself do it. I might have gone to the shops in my slippers. Fuck it, I don't care. Because I couldn't be asked to put shoes on because my feet hurt. So yeah, yeah, it's really weird having benefits and not being able to work. It's really difficult. I've got a different outlook on people who have to claim benefits. Got a different outlook on people who are, can we say it, overweight and fat for whatever reasons. Because the only way you get fat really is to eat too much. Eat too much and do less. Whether you've got thyroid issues, whether you've got stuff, even then, I think you can get yourself out of that from exercise. And I'm proof of that. Well, I'm not proof of that from being fat, but I'm proof that exercise can get you well. From going to someone who couldn't walk to the other side of the room without fucking hanging on to something or sitting down, couldn't lift a toilet seat up 11 years. Yeah, it's different. So I don't know. It's really weird. It's really hard because you're always looking at, when you get in the NHS, you realise how hard everything is and how much it costs, and then you see people who are blatantly, you know, they're swinging the lead. You know they're taking the piss out of the systems. You know it, and you're sat there being told, "Oh, I'm really sorry. It's not that great, and you can't have this, and you can't have your benefits, and all this shit." And that's not right in this society. And when getting all political, fuck it. No, I'm meant to be talking about cancer. Right, cancer. So you've done your 3, you're trying to get better, you're trying to get over it. You will get better. You will get over chemo. But some days you'll be fucked again. For no reason. I did read that as because it will come out your system. So it's in your blood and you'll overdo it and then it will start eating into some fat or something that's got chemo and then you get a chemo hit again. So it does come back to you. Suddenly you'll feel fucked for no reason. And like I said, 5 years. It took me 5 years to feel normal, completely normal. Of course, I was back working and doing shit, but to suddenly think, wow, my chest doesn't. I said, oh, my chest was fucking hurting this morning for some reason. Only for seconds though, not like 20 minutes sat there like that. Just found my chest out, and then it's gone. So, but it's that same sensation that just steps you back to remember what you were and what you've been through. So that's stage 3. Getting over stage 3 and being really fucked. I don't know if these help. They're fucking helping me, I think. But yeah, it's horrible. But you can do it. Fuck it, 11 years. 11 years. Fine. And a 95% cure rate. So obviously I was a 95%. And it's the best one to get. But check your bollocks. It's the only way you're going to survive it. Check your bollocks, get over the fucking anxiety of getting your cock out for everyone, and just do it. Just do it. 11 years clear. So I think I'll do the next one on the actual operation because it's 35 fucking minutes. If you're watching any of these and bored fucking shitless, just tell me you're bored shitless, and subscribe. And ask me questions. If there's anything you're going through and you don't know what's going to happen, I have loads of fucking questions, but I kind of forgot when I was in with my consultant until I got home. And don't Google it. Oh fuck! Don't Google it because you'll frighten the shit out of you. I'll tell you. I'll do an operation one. I'll do the next one. Next one will be the operation, I think, and I'll tell you a little story about it because I'm quite a comedy guy. So next one is the operation. So I'll go do that one now and put this one up. So if you want to watch them, watch them. If you don't watch them. All right. Take care, all.